Okay, so we're live now. Well, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Entertainment News Portal live for today. And we are lucky to have one of the Binibini queens. I must say, she's one of the most elegantly exotic Binibini queens that we have. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure to present our guest for today, Binibini Pilipinas Supranational 2019 and Miss Supranational 2019 Top 25 finalists, our pride, Miss Resham Ramirez Saeed. Hello, Ray.
Hi. Wow, what a great introduction.
Thank you, Ray. Can you introduce yourself first to our audience?
Sure. Hi, everyone. This is Ray Bay here, aka Resham Saeed, aka Miss Supranational Philippines 2019. I hope all of you are well. Thank you for tuning in today. Um, Dale here is going to be our host. He's going to be asking me all the questions that you guys are going to get an insight on me.
Yes. So before we proceed to the questions, I would like to remind our audience that feel free to comment your questions on the comment sections of our live. And if you want a shout out, just please write it there so that our queen here, Raysham, can do a shout out for you. And if you have message, just a message, just comment your message, and I'll be saying it to our guest for today. Okay, so
Sorry,
Raysham,
sorry to
yes.
interrupt you. Am I able to see the comments or
Oh
the
no,
you sent
I'll be
me?
the one. I'll be the one to say
Okay,
it.
perfect. Okay.
Okay. So, how's life after the Miss Supranational?
Wow. A little boring.
That's an honest
So,
answer.
yeah, like I went from beanie and then
Yeah.
fast forward to super national and then fast forward to being in Poland and competing for like almost a month. It was just such a roller coaster ride. Everything was so quick, so fast. And then after the competition was over, it was like, oh my God, now what? So yeah, I just kind of focused more on my advocacy and
Okay.
continued there. Yeah.
Now, I just want to know, Raysham, you are born here in the Philippines,
Yeah.
but you are raised in six different countries. Okay, I did my research. Okay. So I'm just curious, what are those countries and how does it feel to be raised on those countries? I presume that there's different cultures, to adapt, right? How is
Yeah.
it? And what are those countries?
So I was born in Pasay City, actually.
Okay,
Um,
Philippines, yes.
yeah, a hospital there. I don't know the name of the hospital, but after I was born there, my mom took me and moved to Oman, where my dad was currently working. And then from Oman, we moved to Pakistan. And then from Pakistan, we moved to Dubai. And then from Dubai, we moved to Canada. I feel like I'm missing a country. Oh, sorry. From Oman, we moved to Africa. So Oman, Africa, then we moved to Pakistan, then moved to Dubai, then we moved to Canada, and then I moved to Philippines by myself,
Okay, so
alone.
that's the journey. So
That's the
how's adapting to the cultures? They have a coping up mechanism while you are um, transferring from one country to another?
So I mean, when I was younger, I kind of it was bittersweet. Bitter because you know, as soon as I make friends, I have to move again, and it was sweet because I felt like I was learning so much. Like, don't I was kind of like sponging up all this like the culture and you learn a lot from those kinds of experiences, right? And it was kind of adventurous. Like, you know, imagine moving from Oman, which is like very Middle Eastern culture, to Africa, which is just, it's totally different. And then from Africa to Pakistan, which is more conservative and it's more Islamic values. And then from Pakistan to Dubai, which is like big city, but still conservative, again, values, right? And then Canada. which is just liberation. It's just like totally different, and it's Canada itself celebrates all kinds of different cultures
Yeah.
and backgrounds. And then Philippines, which I felt was like full circle, diba? Like I was born there, I went like travel around the world, and then I ended up where I was supposed to be, home. So it was great. It was a great experience. I think I've learned a lot from it, and it shapes who I am.
Okay, so from those countries you've grown as who you, the person you are today. Where do you think you are most adaptive, or your personality can jive?
Um, you know what? I've been asked that question a lot of times, and I feel like I finally found the solid answer to that. And it's that you are your own home. Like no matter where
Yeah,
I've been, the countries, no matter where I've
I
been,
love that
and
answer.
my parents can testify to that. I do not shy away from who I am at the core. So if you know who you are and you're solidified in your values and your beliefs, no matter which country you're in, you'll make a home because home is
Yeah.
here, you know? So yeah, I can
Okay.
adapt anywhere.
So you took up psychology as an undergraduate study in Toronto. Okay. So what made you choose this course?
To be honest, um, if I'm being very frank for my audience and for the younger generation as well, I had no idea what I wanted to study when I went to when I graduated. All I knew in grade 11, like a year before, like I was just like, I wanted to be a lawyer. Like I was like, I want to be a lawyer, right? But then I realized later on that I was more in love with the idea of being a lawyer rather than the actual profession. And I don't believe in choosing a profession that you don't want to give 100%
Yeah.
towards, especially something like law, where people's lives are, you know, people's lives matter. Like people's lives are on the line. So I kind of just chose psychology because that was the other course that I was really interested in high school. So yeah.
Okay, so I've also learned that you are a very sporty girl. That during high school you're into swimming, wrestling, soccer, and baseball. Now, I find
Where are
it
you getting
interesting.
these facts? Oh my God.
I find it interesting that you are interested in wrestling. Now, who's the particular wrestler that you idolize?
I am not into like wrestling in the sense that I used to watch the sports at all. My brothers used to watch it, and the only really real wrestler I even remember from there is John Cena because he
Oh
used to
yeah,
be
John
like,
Cena.
"You can't see me." That was like his intro. But the reason I got into wrestling at that time was because there was a wrestling like I've been on every sports team growing up because my mom is used to be a sports teacher, so she used to force
Hmm.
me first of all to be on these sports teams. She forced me, but then I eventually fell in love with all these sports. And then when I moved to Canada, I wasn't a part of any sports teams, and I kind of missed being a part of it. And wrestling was something that I had never tried, and my father is a black belt in karate, so I was just like, oh my God, I know this is not karate, but like it's some form of sports, like, so I was just like, I just wanted to get out, get my not teenage angst, but like, you're at that age where you have all these like
Yeah.
inner passion or
Yeah.
anger. So it was a good outlet for me.
You have the
So
fire. You have
exactly
that
the
inner
power.
fire.
Exactly.
So, how did you do? How did you do when you are in wrestling way back in high school? How
Oh my
was
God.
it?
I was actually surprisingly good at it. My coach for months was begging me to like join national team, like the one compete with other schools. And like for me that was way too much. I was like, no, 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 no. Like this is not something I want to like pursue, like I was just like, but I was good. I was good to a point where There were only two other girls who were wrestling at the time, but during practice, they would put me with the guys in the same weight class instead of me wrestling with the girls. So I was pretty good, actually. Scary times.
So you're a badass. You are a
Certified.
well, to all the aspiring boyfriends there of Resham, you must prepare yourself.
Exactly.
Okay, so going back, since we're talking about sports, here in the Philippines, basketball, boxing, and volleyball are the big deal in terms of sports. So, if given the chance, which of the three would you like to get involved and why?
Boxing. Yeah.
Boxing. Okay. From wrestling to boxing, why? Come on.
Yeah.
I love that.
To be honest, like I've tried basketball and I'm okay at it. I'm not terrible. I used to be on the basketball team.
Okay.
But I feel like boxing would just make me feel more like, or you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I would like to pursue boxing. Like I actually wanted to pursue kickboxing. And when I first moved to Manila, I was actually boxing. I was like training boxing just for physical fitness. So yeah, I just think boxing is just something that would make me feel super like badass.
Yeah. I like being unconventional at sometimes and breaking the stereotypes. I like that attitude.
Ah,
Now I
thank
know why
you.
you become a binibini. Okay. So you are four siblings in your family, and
Yes,
you are the eldest and the only girl.
yes.
So tell me, is it hard or is it an advantage to be the eldest and the only girl among the siblings?
It was both, nah. It was super both because being the eldest, like it was good because I get to treat my little brothers as like my minions.
Your minions.
Yeah. I'm the queen of the house. I mean, the princess. My mom's the queen. But and also, of course, like I was daddy's little girl. I've always been. I'd like to like. Sorry, brothers, if you're watching this, but like I'm the favorite. I'm the favorite of the house.
Yes. Well,
So
it's most of the time like that. The eldest girl will
yeah,
always be the daddy's girl.
I'm the only girl, diba?
Yeah, the
So
only girl.
those were the perks. But the downside was that I was like kind of the tester child. So any rules or any like setbacks, I had to break the barriers first. Do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
whether it was like, okay, at what age will our children start dating? Of course, these are questions my parents had for themselves, right? Like for their kids, like, okay, like when are like if she gets a boyfriend, like is that gonna be okay, is that not gonna be okay, or like how late can we let her stay out, or how like at what age can she do sleepovers and all those things. So my brothers, like it was not so great for me because I felt like I had to break those barriers and like fight with my parents, go through all those arguments. But then my brothers had it very easy, and it was kind of empowering because I see the way my brothers look at me and look at me with respect because they know that I'm so strong and like strong-willed when it comes to things that I feel strongly about. And so I it's nice to feel like that maybe they'll pick up on that. And they also have respect for other women because like I feel like I've done a good job instilling that in them,
Yeah.
those characters in them. So yeah, a bit of both.
Okay, so well, actually, you've answered my next question. My next question is actually, who is Raysham as a daughter? So maybe I already heard what you've said a while ago. So we don't need to answer that anymore. And as a sister, you've also already mentioned what kind of sister Raysham is.
Two birds, one
So
stone.
who is Raysham as a friend and as a girlfriend?
Ooh, I like these questions. Um, okay, so I don't know if you believe in like horoscopes. I'm not a huge believer in horoscopes, but I do believe that every description of a Scorpio is like who I am. Like I'm a Scorpio. So super like loyal. I'm like a really loyal friend. So my friends probably can vouch for this. Like sometimes if they're talking to someone I don't know, I'm like, who's this new friend of yours? Like, back it. I'm your friend. Why do you need more friends? Like
Yes,
I'm your,
Scorpios are jealous.
we are the jealous type. Little bit. We are very possessive actually. That's
Yeah.
what it is. And we're super passionate. So like if my friend has an issue, like if my friend calls me up, it's like, hey, like I don't know what to do about this certain situation or whatever, I get sometimes too invested in their problems, if that makes sense. Like so I'm that person who's gonna be like, oh, let me fight your battles for you, which isn't always great. So but like it's just like that's what you get with me, you know, like if I trust you as a friend and we have a strong bond, like I'm the kind of person you can call me any time of the day, you can expect me to be there, and you can expect me to genuinely care, not the small talk like, oh, like how's work been, how's the weather, da da da. No, it's gonna be like, how are you feeling, what's it been like in work for you, are you satisfied with where you are in life right now. I'm going to be that friend who's going to ask those tough questions and make you face certain things that you might not want to face. But that's the kind of friend I am. Girlfriend. Oh my God. Should I just call my boyfriend to answer this question? Just kidding. But same. I think my role as a friend and girlfriend are very similar, except there's an added intensity there because for me, I'm very personally, I'm not a mystery, but there's a lot of effort I have been told by my exes that it takes a lot of effort to get to my like full vulnerability. You know, sometimes I still get that feedback that like, oh my God, like every time I feel like I have you figured out, there's like more layers I have to like break through. So I'm the kind of person like if I'm vulnerable with you and you break that trust, there's no going back. So it's super intense. It's intense being in my vicinity.
Okay, so someone also told me that you love cats.
Oh my God, I love cats.
Yeah, I have cats too. I love cats. And what's with the cats, or what's with cats that you love about? And how many cats do you have, if you have at this moment?
So I do have a cat, but it's in Canada with my mom. His name is Chan. Chan, short for Jackie Chan. His full name is Jackie Chan. Um, and yeah, I don't know what it is about cats to be honest, but again, my mom can vouch for this. Since I was a little girl, I used to hide. So I would find cats, like stray cats on the streets, and I would like hide them in my bag and bring them home and hide them and like take care of them and like just try to become their like mom. And my mom would always find out, of course, because I'm really bad at hiding things. I'm obsessed with cats. I think it's like the personality of cats. You know how dogs are always like, they're always like trying to get your attention. Dogs are always,
Yes.
oh my God, me, I love you, I love you, I love you. Dogs are always like, they're always willing to love you. But with cats, you have to work for their affection, you know? And
Yes, I agree.
I'm the kind of person I enjoy putting in that work because when the cat loves you back, you feel
Yes.
like you've you've earned it. If that
Yes.
makes sense.
Yes, yes,
I'm that
actually.
basically. Basically, cats and me in relationships are the exact same thing.
Well, actually, originally I have three cats, and all of them are stray cats too. One of them, the eldest, already passed last year. She spent 10 years and 11 months with us.
Wow.
So, yeah, we picked her up way back 2009. Then we still have two cats here remaining. The the second one is just a year younger than the one who passed away. So we are thankful that she's still with us. And
Aw.
the other one was just we just picked him up last, I think, January or February this year, going home. We saw him playing near a pharmacy. He's playing with the customers going in and out of the door of the
Cute.
pharmacy there. Then we actually pick him up, and when we pick him up, he's so dirty, so we have to take him a bath. And now he's here playing with our other cat, and we have a dog actually. So they are playmates.
Oh my
Good
God.
thing they are
You know, I
playmates.
almost got a cat last week. I almost fostered a kitten and two puppies because now with COVID, there are so many stray animals that used to
Yes.
depend on tourists to feed them, and now, you know, they're kind of abandoned. So I was going to foster two puppies and one kitten. And then when I asked my landlord, she wasn't okay with it. So I just cried about it and got over it. But hopefully, we rent a place where I can foster some animals. We'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So going back to our question. So you love Mexican food and spicy food.
Yes. I am shocked with the intense research you have done.
Yeah. So which do you prefer to eat more often? Mexican food or Filipino food, and why?
Wow. Tough position. um, if I'm going to be honest, like tacos have just been like my favorite thing. But then at the same time, like mangoes and bagoong, you know,
Yeah,
mangga.
wow.
Oh
Yeah,
my God,
it's
super love
mouth-watering.
it. So good, like so good. I wouldn't really compare the two because for me, it's like I'm a huge foodie. So I still, you know, as much as I love tacos, it's not something I can eat every single day. You know what I mean? But things like manga and with bagaong and with the sili and the salt and what do you call it? Sinigang
Yeah,
and
sinigang.
kangkong and
Kan-
bangos. I could eat that every day. You know, like bangos. I
Yeah,
love bangos,
bangus.
especially with the soy sauce and with like the chopped up chili and
Yeah,
the calamansi.
yeah, calamansi, yes.
Mm,
Oh my god.
so good. So good. I'm
Okay.
so hungry.
Yeah. So, um, aside from what you've mentioned, what else or what other Filipino food would you like to eat or would you like to try?
Honestly, I really want to try balot
Mm,
just because it's a part of my culture. I feel like I need to at least have it once. Do you know what I mean?
yeah, yeah.
Um, that's what I want to try. Other than that, I feel like I've eaten almost everything, any Filipino food you can think of. Like I love kare kare as well. So yeah, balot would be the one.
How about have you tried the spicy foods here in the Philippines, like the Bicol Express?
Yes, of course. Wait, the Bicol Express is the one with the vegetables. It's like almost like
It's a
curry.
yeah, it's like curry. It's pork with coconut milk.
I've tried that, but with beef.
Oh yeah, beef.
Yeah. So
It can
I've
be beef and it can be chicken breast if you're into diet.
yeah.
Okay, so yes, and you love to cook.
But me, I love to cook. No,
Yeah,
that one you got wrong.
really? Okay. Well, anyway, in case, in case the entire ENP or the entire Entertainment News Portal team will visit you one day,
Ooh.
what are the foods are you going to prepare for us and why?
Hmm. Sinigang for sure. And then probably kwek as like the
Wow.
finger foods, you know. I think for appetizers we would have kwek and mangoes.
Yeah.
Um, right. And then probably I would do like salmon sinigang for the
Oh,
main,
yes.
of course, and chicken adobo.
Oh, yeah, chicken
Yeah,
adobo.
chicken
Make it
adobo.
spicy.
Yeah,
Spicy
I
chicken
make
adobo.
like
That's
the
wow.
spicy version. Yeah, but I really like the chicken adobo with the coconut milk.
Yeah. With
Oh my
gata.
god,
Yeah. Coconut milk.
good. Yeah,
That's really good.
and
Okay.
of
So,
course Coke.
yeah, soft drinks or iced tea can be.
Of
Yeah.
course, yeah.
So before I proceed to the next questions, we have here watching with us Mr. Charles Z.
Okay.
Okay, we also have Arvin Chester Basihan. Our photographer is watching us,
Hello,
and
guys.
Alexander William Resham,
I
and we
wish I
have
could.
Leslie May Antonio Ray with heart.
Hi
Okay, hello
guys.
everyone. Thank you for watching our live. Okay, so now take me to your pageant journey. Okay, so um, you're a Muslim, right? Okay, so how did you get the approval from your parents to join pageants? I suppose being a Muslim or being in an Islam religion, you are more conserved, more laid back. So how did you get the approval from your parents?
So although I was raised in a very Muslim household, my parents never, what's the word? My parents never used my religion to confine my
Oh, that's
beliefs,
nice.
or never used religion or their beliefs to confine my actions. So I'm very, very, very lucky and privileged to have parents who are able to see that, okay, this is what I believe, but my daughter is her own person. I can't tell her what to believe and what to follow. This life is her own journey to find those answers for herself. So of course, a lot of that wasn't just that black and white. It wasn't always this simple that like, oh, my parents are just gonna let me do what I want to do, because at the end of the day, I'm their daughter, right? For them, it's very important that we share the same values and the same beliefs. But they also understand that in the day and age we're living in, it's important for them to let me spread my wings, so to speak, right? And I mean, I was an adult, you know, when I asked my dad about it, and I asked him. Actually, uh, my dad was never really that. He wasn't really that. What's the word? Excited about the whole modeling aspect. That's what I always wanted to do growing up, but he saw that it wasn't just a phase. It wasn't just something that, oh, like I want to do and then I forgot about it. Growing up, there's so many pictures of me as a little girl, like literally like 3 years old, like, and I'm posing for the camera. So he could tell that that's something that like he wasn't going to evaporate, you know what I mean? And as a father, what father, you know, wants to see their child be so passionate about something and then be like, no, diba?
Totoo. I love that. I love your parents. I love how
I
they
love my
support you.
parents.
I
Super
love how they
supportive.
support you. Okay,
And
so
yeah, so that's what led me here.
what inspires you or what motivates you to join pageants?
To be honest, I never really thought I was gonna join pageants. I knew I wanted to be a model, but like um, when after going to university, I started thinking as modeling as like a dream. It's not like I started thinking like, okay, like I don't have the height to be a model. I don't have the color maybe to be a model. I don't have the body to be a model. Like there's this wrong with my face or there's that. And you know, like you start believing this false reality and you're like, oh, like I'm not cut out to be a model. Um, pero my mom is the one who, like, you must know that in every country you go to, there's a Filipino community, right? And there was a Filipino community in Canada.
Yeah, a
And
lot
there
of.
used to be local pageants amongst those communities in Canada. And so my mom took me one summer to just try it out because, you know, she was like, maybe it'll groom me a bit more to be a like ladylike. And then it kind of seemed like, wow, I've never seen anyone like myself on the pageant stage until I saw Parusha.
Yeah, Arusha.
Yeah, she was the first like pageant girl that I saw, and I was like, oh my god, she's Filipino and she's morena. Like,
Yes.
like I remember watching her with my mom and being like, oh my god, like maybe I can do pageants. Do you know what I mean? Like, so that was the first time. That was the reason I wanted to join. That was my motivation to be like, you know what? I'm gonna break that stereotype. Yeah, I'm Muslim and there's gonna be a lot of backlash, but I want other Muslim girls who are afraid to take the stage to look at me and be like, oh my God, she's Muslim, she's Filipino, she's Pakistani, I can be that. Do you know what I mean? So that was like my
Yeah.
motivation.
Okay. So, I was informed also that you plan and organizes things ahead of time.
Yeah.
So, how did you plan when you joined pageants?
Okay.
Especially when you joined the Miss Philippines Canada and Binibini.
So Miss Philippines Canada was kind of, I mean, I don't want to dismiss my efforts there, but for me, it was just all fun. Like I really wasn't expecting it to be, I, I just didn't put any pressure on myself for it. It was just something I was doing to pass the time during summer. And literally just because my mom's friend, so that my mom has this one pageant fanatic friend, Tita Carol, she
Yeah.
would call me every single day to make sure I go and sign up for that pageant. And literally to get her to stop calling me, I was like, okay, will you stop calling me if I join this pageant? She's like, yeah, I'll leave you alone. I was like, fine. So I swear to God, like I joined that just because one woman saw potential in me and she forced me. She like literally forced me and was like, no, you can do this. You have to do it
Continually
now.
insisting you.
Exactly. So that's how I prepared for that. But for beanie beaning, I had no idea what I was getting myself into. Like I had no idea. Like sometimes I think about it and I laugh because I'm like, wow, like this, all of this happened. Like I have zero experience, diba? And I'm living in Philippines for the first time ever alone by myself in a whole new country and I can't speak the language and yeah, but anyway, um, yeah, just kind of happened.
Okay, so what made you decide to finally join Binibining Pilipinas? You flew away from Canada, going to here in the Philippines, and you submitted your application. You became one of the official candidates. So, um, what made you decide, or is there someone who convinced you, or is there a motivation in you?
So it was a combination of things. I was kind of like, I felt like I was in a point of my life, in my young adult life, where I was seeking adventure. And I was like kind of thirsty for something new. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And on top of that, KF, right? The camp, the beauty pageant camp. KF, so Tita Rojo from KF has been convincing and messaging my mom for 4 years to send me to Philippines to join Bini Bini. And you might know Bea Santiago Rose.
Yeah, BS Santiago or Miss International.
Yeah, Miss International, right? So um her mom is friends with my mom, and we used to go to the same university. Yeah, and we used to go to the same university in Canada. And also, she is the one to give me my first crown ever, actually, in a Canadian pageant back home. So, long story short, there were a lot of people telling me to join a pageant. And when I saw Parul Shah, I was like, okay, you know what? Like, I think I might, like, down the road give this a shot. So the timing was perfect because when I did the Canadian pageant, one of the prizes was that if you win, you get a ticket to Philippines. And I was like, oh my God, okay, so I'll join this pageant. And if I win, I told myself, if I win this pageant, that means I'm not coming back to Canada.
Yeah. So can you tell me, or can you tell us, the difference of your experience in the Miss Philippines Canada and in Binibini?
Oh my God, huge difference because the Miss Canada pageant is very small, it's very local, and it doesn't have like it's a basic pageant, you know. It's mostly a Filipino charity community, and the pageant is just so everything about it is charity. They have very strong charitable values, and the pageant is secondary. Whereas Bini Bining, it's a powerhouse. You know, people from all around the world, anyone who's involved in the pageant world knows of Bini Bining. So
Yeah.
it's just Bini Bining is a legend in its own. Yeah.
Okay, so can you tell us the exact feeling when you were announced as Binibining Pilipinas Supranational 2019?
Oh my God. Do you want the honest answer or do you want the pageant?
Yes, of course.
Okay, I hope people don't take this the wrong way because if I'm going to be honest, right, like I want people to know exactly what was going through my head. A lot of people like when they saw my reaction, they thought like, oh wow, she's actually so happy because I was crying, right? But I was
Yeah.
actually super sad. Like I was super sad because moment I couldn't see my victory. I only saw that I didn't win Miss Universe. Diba? Like let's be real. Everyone
Yeah.
joins to win Miss Universe, diba? Like everyone is aching for that crown unless you specifically know which pageant you join. Keep in mind, it was my first time joining a pageant. So for me, I didn't really even think about the other crowns. For me, it was like MU or nothing. And I used to tell myself that. I used to be like, if I don't get the MU crown, I'm not accepting another crown. Like I was so like maarte na. I was like so maarte about it. Like I'm not going to take any other crown because MU is like the one I want. And I remember after I got crowned and I was like standing there, everything was happening so fast. And then when we got moved off stage, I was like crying. And you know, Sam Lowe,
Yeah,
um,
Samlo.
yeah, Sam Lowe pulled me aside. She's like, "What's wrong? Why are you still crying? Are you so happy? And is it because you're so happy?" I said, "I think I'm going to go give the crown back." She's like, "What?" She's like, what are you talking about?" I was like, "No, you know, this is not the crown that I wanted. Like, I would be doing injustice to the crown if I just wear it because it's a crown. I should for me I wanted MU. This is I don't think that I would be able to give the crown the power it deserves because my heart is not 100% in it. And what she said to me changed my whole perspective in that moment. And she told me that, you know what, it's not about the crown that you have. She's like, your main goal was to see someone like yourself on that stage and you accomplished that. It's like, you won. Today you won because there are going to be millions of girls who are going to look up to you and going to see themselves in you. And the crown is nothing without the woman behind it. So even if you don't have the MU crown, you could be the MU of Miss Supranational. She's like, do you know how many girls are dying to be where you are right now? She said, don't don't be stupid. Wipe your tears and walk into that room like the queen you are. And I was like, shit, she's right. Like I can't I can't let my pride get the best of the situation. So, yun lang.
That's very nice. A very sincere and honest answer. Um, I'm just curious, what was the most exciting part when you competed in Miss Supranational?
Most exciting?
Yeah, yeah.
Honestly, for me, it was the Q&A. You know, it
Yeah,
was
you're
the
good at
interview
you're one
portion.
of the that's one of your forte,
Yeah,
I must say.
I mean, as from our interview, I'm sure our viewers can agree. They can see I love to talk. So the interview portion was the most exciting for me. Yeah.
Okay, so have you gained friends there in Miss Supranational?
Oh my God, yeah. So many friends. I actually follow all of them on Instagram. But of course, as all of you know, me and Miss Thailand became like two peas in a pod. Yeah.
Have you encountered, I'm sorry to ask this, but have you encountered some untrustworthy, fellas? Just yes or no. Just yes or no.
Um, yes, in the sense that like not, you have to remember it's a competition. That's the thing.
Okay, yeah.
And for me, like when I start getting close to women, like I love women, like I love having bonds, good bonds with women. And a lot of times there were moments that happened that I had to remind myself, oh my God, Ray, you're not here to make friends. It's a competition, right? But the only person who I didn't feel that with was Miss Thailand. Like we never like, I feel like we just were in our own little world, just having fun. Yeah.
Okay, now let's go to the Binibini. Let's imagine that the coronation night of Binibini Pilipinas 2020 had pushed through. So, um, how do you see yourself doing your farewell walk and relinquishing your crown?
Oh my God. Um, I mean, ideally, the 2020 pageant would be the way our pageant was, full of people and excitement in the air and just emotions running high, because
Yes.
that's the true that's the true essence of the pageant in on coronation night. It's like the emotions and the excitement and the drama. But I mean, I see myself crowning a woman that understands that it's not the crown that gives her power, but in fact, she gives the crown the power. That's the kind of successor I want. I want the successor to know that she's not wearing, like, the crown isn't wearing her, she's wearing the crown. So everything she embodies as a woman is going to come alive and triple the effects on the people who are watching, on the people who are looking up to her. So yeah, I just wanted to crown a successor that's like hopefully just so strong-willed and asks all the questions and says no if she wants to, just someone strong. Yeah, a fighter.
Your advocacy is about woman empowerment and gender equality.
Yes.
Am I right? Okay,
Right.
so Soji bill is still under debate. What is your stand about it?
Oh. I honestly I am for the soju bill. I just think like sometimes I wonder what's the conversation we're having here. Like what's taking so long?
Yeah,
Like is this still a conversation
actually.
to have? Like people are like, oh, Philippines isn't ready for it. I'm like, let me tell you something. You're not ready for it until it happens. So you just gotta make it happen. right? Like if you asked me on coronation
Makes
night,
sense. I love
moments,
that.
moments before I'm about to step on stage, like, hey, do you want to do this next week instead? I would have probably said yes. You know, everyone, if you give them more time, they're like, yeah, I want more time. But the time is now. You have to create the time. You don't wait for it. Us Filipinos, we don't wait. We don't wait for good things to happen. We have to take it. We have to make it happen. So for me, my only stance on this is that A, I'm for it, and B, what's up? Why isn't it approved yet? Why aren't we celebrating it yet? Like, let's go.
Yeah, let's go. They must think about that. They
Yeah.
must think about that. All progressive countries have already legalized or have already published or have already approved the SOGI bill
Yeah.
or the SOGI law. Okay, so before I proceed or before we proceed to the next questions, let me read some of the greetings here in our
Sure.
comments. Then we have watching with us Brian Ramos Saspa. We
Hi.
have also Miss Iloilo, one of the candidates of Miss Universe Philippines
Oh,
this year, Rabia Mateo. She's watching with us. Then we have Marielle, Trisha, Floresca, Ray Day.
hi.
And we have CJ Roncal Cruz. Love
Oh,
you,
hi.
Sir Dale. I love you, Ray.
Love you too.
Okay. So, these questions are about the ECQ, the Enhanced Community Quarantine. Okay, so who do you miss most among your Binibini sisters during this quarantine?
Oh my God, most. I honestly miss all of them because like there's a certain energy when we're all together. Like you can even any of like the women who chaperone us or like anyone who's around us when we're all together. We're troublemakers when we're all together. Like we're always cracking jokes. Nothing feels too serious. You know, when we're together, when we're all together, it just feels like okay, we can handle whatever comes our way because we're together right now. And sayang, I feel like it sucks that, you know, something like this has to happen for you to remember good times. But it's a blessing in disguise that, you know, when things do go back to normal, to not take time with people you love for granted. You know, I just wish that we had spent more time like by the pool, or we had at least taken a trip together. You know, it would have been nice to have taken like a personal trip together, just us girls. So, you know, when all of this is over, I'm just gonna invite them all to Bali.
Okay. So we have a vehicle just passed by. Okay, so do, do you think TikTok is a good coping mechanism during this quarantine? Why or why not?
Nako! I have such a biased opinion of TikTok now. Like, I have 50% of my friends who've been begging me to get TikTok. And then other 50% of the friends were just like, oh my God, like TikTok is so toxic. Like it's so like it's for kids, it's for like the younger generation. But I'm not gonna lie to everyone who's wondering, because I've been getting a lot of messages actually from my fans asking me if I have a TikTok account. Guys, yesterday I got TikTok. I did not make an account. I just got it to see what it's about. And I must say that, okay, I had a very skewed perception because I thought, oh, it's just the weird dancing and I'm not a good dancer, honestly. That's why I was all the way back in the dance portion in the opening number of Bini Bini. If you notice that I was all the way in the back because I'm not a good dancer. They put me in the back. So TikTok I thought was not for me, but I got the app and I don't think it's something you should be heavily relying on as a coping mechanism. It's good if you want to be creative or you know you want to do some DIY tutorials. That's good for your creative outlet, but you shouldn't be using it as a coping mechanism. Meditate, spend time
Yeah,
with your
meditate.
loved ones, call
Yes.
your mom, tell her you love her. Like, those are the things we should be coping with.
Okay, now Ray, what for you is the significance of being a Binibining Pilipinas queen during this enhanced community quarantine?
What's my significance?
Yeah, as a Binibini queen.
Um, I think it's more as like, I think all the other queens feel this way too, that their significance is more dependent on who they are as women, not as queens. So right now, more than ever, people need us as humans. They need us as someone who's going to be a source of positivity, someone who's going to be a source of education, someone who's going to be a friend, perhaps. I've been having a lot of fans message me about their anxiety, about their personal issues and their personal problems. And I know this sounds bad, but it actually makes me feel good that people can trust me with those types of topics, with those types of discussions. And it made me realize that the people need me less as a binibining queen and they need me more as Rebe. So, so I think the significance is using that platform to really be true to who you are and to connect with people on a different, deeper level.
Okay, so before I proceed to the last question,
Yeah.
let me read another comment here from Janice Domino Bonomo. You are one of my favorite Binibining Pilipinas. And she also said, join Miss Universe Philippines next year. Are you joining? Please do.
I swear my inbox is so full of like join MUP 2020. And I'm like, guys, did you not hear? 2020 is canceled. We don't even know if there's going to be a pageant, diba? Or no, they
Yeah,
want me 2021. What am I saying?
yeah,
My God,
2020.
2021. I don't know. I don't know yet. That's why I haven't answered those questions yet.
Okay, for your last question, Ray,
Yeah.
what for you is the message of this pandemic to every one of us?
I think although it's tragic that a pandemic has to happen for us to for it to be served as a reminder, but um, for those who can look at it from this perspective, um, I invite you to kind of look at it from realizing how we took everyday activities for granted, um, little joys that we overlooked, little moments that we didn't pay close attention to. So the fact that you could just call your friends and be like, "Hey, let's meet at SM," the fact that you can't do that anymore, just little things like that. But then to also remember that we have other tools to continue improving ourselves on. So we have information at our fingertips. We we can always go back to the roots. So if you're a creative person, you like painting and you haven't had the
Yeah.
time to, now is the time. If you want to start working out and get those body goals that you've been talking about with your friends, now is the time. And if there are friends that you've wanted to check in on, but you never really put in the effort to reach out first, now is the time. Now is the time to be like, hey, the world is in a crazy situation right now. I just wanted to see, how are you? You know? So, in some ways, there are a lot of positive reminders in this situation. But of course, that's not the case for everyone. And that in itself is also a positive reminder that you're alive, you're healthy, you have shelter, you have food on the table. So you're one of the lucky ones. So yeah.
Okay, so before we proceed to your wrap up statement, your
Yeah.
advocacy, donation drive, or your social and your social media. Let's have the last two comments here in our comment box from Nina Ricci. Regards and stay safe.
Hi, Nina.
And Julius Jury Domino is also watching right now.
Hi.
Okay,
Yes.
so Ray, can you tell us now or promote your advocacy, your if donation, if you have the donation drive and your social media,
Yeah.
please.
So, guys, as you know, I'm the ambassador of Respeto Naman with Spark Philippines. So, if you go to Spark Philippines on Instagram, you will find a lot of the charitable works they're doing right now. A lot of the work that they do is in helping women and helping the elderly during these times. So there are a lot of great charities to support there. There's a very unique charity that one of my stylists was telling me about. And it's supporting the elder LGBTQ communities. So, if you guys consider yourselves strong allies, that's definitely something you want to look into. I will be posting on my story today, tomorrow, and probably for the rest of this week where you could donate and the kind of communities you might want to help at this time. So definitely check that out. And for those who don't know, my Instagram is at Raybay.
Ray
So
Day.
Rebaee. Yes, Raybay. I actually
Thank
love it when
you.
people would see me, like any of the fans would come see me and they'd be like, "Oh my God, Ray Bay!" It's almost like they know me as Ray Bay, not even as Resham Ramirez Saeed. It's like they know me as Ray Bay now. So it's a nice
Yes.
personal touch. I love it when when people refer to me as Ray Bay. So yeah, check out my Instagram. And of course, guys, my DMs are always open. If you want to talk about something, please, please, please feel free to reach out and to, ask me some advice if you need it, or just want someone to talk to. I'm there. So just hit me up. Shoot me a message.
Well, everyone, please follow this wonderful Binibini here. Okay,
Thank
so thank you for this time, for giving us this time, Ray. Thank you so much. So tomorrow, please do not forget to tune in to our live same time at 3 p.m. We will have Binibining Pilipinas Intercontinental 2014 and Miss Intercontinental 2014 second runner-up, Chris Tiffany Jansen.
Oh wow.
That's 3 p.m. tomorrow, Philippine time. And at 8 p.m. tomorrow as well, we will have Miss Universe Philippines 2020 candidate from Iloilo Province, Kim Chi Crizaldo. So stay tuned because we will be having two beautiful women tomorrow for our live. Again, everyone, Ray, thank you so much. This has been a
Thank you for
very,
having
very
me.
interesting conversation. I love every single word you've said. The honesty, the sincerity. It's real. Come on, it's really real. And
Thank you. I
come on,
appreciate
it's heartfelt. Thank you so much,
Thank
Ray.
you for having me. Thank you so much. Thank you, Alvin, for setting this up. Thank you, ENP, for having me here today. It's always a pleasure talking about anything under the sun, right?
Thank you so much. And hopefully we get to see you soon. Hopefully this pandemic will end soon, very soon. Okay, so everyone, thank you so much for tuning in from the start till the end of our live. And please don't forget our live for tomorrow, 3 p.m. Chris Tiffany Hanson, Miss Intercontinental 2014 second runner-up. And at 8 p.m. we have Miss Universe 2020 candidate from Iloilo Province, Kim Chi Crisaldo. Again, Ray, thank you so much for your time. And let's have a blessed Friday. Thank God it's Friday. And please do remember, we heal as one.
Yes, we
Thank
heal
you,
as one.
Ray. Bye
Bye.
bye.